Assalamu alaikum, namaste, sastri akal. My name is Farheen Khan, and you're watching the Azeeza Show. Last week we had a very interesting episode with Sara and we talked about finding your voice. And this week I'm really excited to share with you the guests that I have to talk about, what better way to talk about finding your voice than to actually talk about a magazine. This particular magazine and initiative is called My Voice, and with me we have Nargis Naqvi, Sara, Masood, and Aisha, Hyder. Thank you so much for being on the show today. When we think about the importance of engaging youth, this is such a great initiative to have. Just looking right here, we've got some really nice artwork as well from someone who's contributed. So why don't we start with Nargis, why don't I ask you first? Let's talk about what, you're the founder of My Voice. Tell us what it is, how you got started and why.
Well, around 5 years ago, when my daughter was going into high school, I was looking for something for youth to do, Muslim youth specifically. And I realized that whether it was community centers or our mosques, there was nothing exciting, nothing creative that would engage the youth. At that age, teenagers are very picky, and a lot of moms know that. But there was really nothing out there, and so I called a meeting for youth, and I asked them, how would you like to have a voice? What would a magazine do? And they all got really excited. Mm-hmm. And within like 2 months, we launched our first magazine. Did a lot of research. None of us knew how to do that. Alhamdulillah, ever since then, we've created the whole board. It is run by our youth 14 and up. Mm-hmm. I'm the only adult mentor that they do have, and we're all volunteers, alhamdulillah. So it's been a great 5 years. And, yeah.
So how long has it been? Like how many issues have you guys produced? What's the process been like? Sara, Aisha, I know you write as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean it's an amazing journey, and I know Aisha has been involved from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. I started off about 2 years now. And, every year we publish 4 issues, and we distribute about 20,000 copies. Okay. And not only just locally in the Greater Toronto area, but also we have started our chapter in Vancouver, BC, which means that there is more and more demand and willingness from youth to join an initiative like My Voice Canada, to be a part of our magazine and our events. I'm sure in the interview we'll talk a lot more about what are some of the other things that we do at My Voice Canada. I know Aisha has been part of the team as a writer.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I started off in the summer after grade 9, and I was actually volunteering at a Muslim Fest in the art gallery there because I had some of my paintings up, and our editor-in-chief at the time came up to me. It was a magical moment because it was something that I was waiting for, and she just popped up and she's like, oh, do you like writing? And I was like, yes, I love writing. And she told me about My Voice, and so I attended the first meeting, and I was pretty lost at that time because you're young, you're just entering high school, and you've got all these questions in your mind. And I know that then I was actually not so close to my faith. I sort of had doubts, and I think My Voice is just something that really helped ground me. I was able to write about what I was feeling, and I continued writing, and as I wrote, I felt more sure of myself. I built an identity, and so now I'm in second year of university, and it's taught me a lot, and I've definitely built a lot of skills that are helping me in university. It's made me strong. I can participate and contribute in my classes. My teachers have said that I'm a powerful writer. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And just out of curiosity, what kind of topics do you guys talk about? Let's talk about that. What are some of the things that yourself and others, youth, have contributed to the actual magazine, and how much of it, I guess what we want to understand is like the impact that this magazine has had on other people as well.
I'd like to start with saying that one of the things that in my vision was that it's going to be a Muslim magazine, but a lot of people think that means you're going to preach Islam. That's not something I want done here. For one thing, our youth are not going to be preaching anything. It is about international topics. It is about what impacts them, whether it's high school, whether it's health, whether it's fashion. Some of them actually are very passionate about what's happening in the international news, so they write, the section is called My Perspective, so they write their perspective on that. There's recipes and games games and sports, everything in there. And every quarter we actually have a concept meeting, which is open to all youth. Some of them actually Skype in for that. And they give their contributions as to what the next topic should be. And that's where we take a vote on the topic, and they all go their ways with the writing. But a lot of the times when I call for volunteers, people are like, well, I don't really write. And that's where they think that that's all you do in a magazine. At My Voice, the youth are designing, they're doing the photography for it, they're doing illustration, they are doing the marketing, social media, website design, YouTubing, interviewing people, doing social experiments, and also distributing. So there's all sorts of different positions for them for leadership purposes and to help them gain their creative skills.
Wonderful, that sounds exciting. And how do they have to be located in the Greater Toronto area, or could they be anywhere to be able to participate in something like this?
They could actually be anywhere. We have a chapter in Vancouver, which started over a year ago, and we have a whole executive team over there as well. So people submit things online. That's how it is nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to be. Perfect. That's great.
And in fact, I think I would say that the whole idea is to reach a youth across Canada.
Right.
And of course, we would love to have our chapters with the physical locations, but youth are more than welcome to get in touch with us. We're on social media. We have our own website. We have a lot of ways of, like Nargis mentioned, we have Skype available for our meetings. So there's a lot of opportunity for youth to become involved, for sure.
Yeah, and then we also have this section where we have taken in articles before from people in different countries around the world, and they can offer their perspective. Right. So, yeah, we have that too.
Perfect. And you have some of the magazines in front of you. Do you want to maybe hold one up so that people
That's the latest issue.
So this is our latest issue, and it's called The Apathy Crisis, and it talked about how we've sort of become numb. We see tragedy after tragedy on the news, and sort of become almost like a spectacle. It's hard to really pay attention to it and really care and feel and be moved because it's just so often. So our feature article focuses on finding ways to really be moved and to really care. And we look at what our faith says about how we can become people who care and who actually do. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was just recently part of a feature on Global News where they started this hashtag called The First Time I Was Called. And a lot of the reaction on that was, there were some who were, when I shared my story, were quite upset, and just there was a lot of hate that came out of it. But there were a lot of other people who were just kind of like, well, this happens all the time. Like, why is this a big deal, And it was almost like that's exactly what it was. It was like, I think people are just so apathetic now. It's just like, who cares? Like, get over it type of thing.
Yeah.
And, it's good to know that, you guys are actually doing some work around that, because it's true. There's just so much that's consistently happening. So, with that in mind, I just am curious. So, as we continue to see this, this sort of hateful rhetoric out there, how has My Voice sort of played a role in supporting youth that are starting to, really feel that when they go out there? And I ask because when I speak sometimes in the community, a lot of young people come and ask me, and they're like, how do we maintain hope? How do we, continue to feel positive when things are so difficult for us? How can we continue to, to see that, that we have the ability to do what we want and, to aspire to achieve our dreams despite knowing that there are so many barriers, right? How do we respond to that?
Well, what I've seen in the past 5 years is that with youth coming in and joining in with My Voice, and we're trying to always get more and more in different departments so that we can reach out to everybody who has a different interest. We also do talk to them, and every single meeting there's also some kind of conversation around it. And the concept meeting that I mentioned, that's what they talk about. What is it that's impacting us? How can we help people like us come to the answers? And I'm also a life coach, and I do a lot of counseling for people, and what I've learned in this experience is that what you need to do is you need to ask them what is it that you're looking for, and then let them answer it by guiding them through the answers rather than giving them the answers, because it has to come from within. So a lot of these youth have come through different conclusions on their own. In fact, every year we do an award ceremony, and all the volunteers that I've never met in my life, they sometimes end up there and I meet them for the first time. And a few of them have come up to me and said, you have no idea how this initiative has changed us, because we were looking for something, we thought we were stuck in a bubble, and we were leaving our faith or not feeling close to it just because we were angry at so many things. And being able to express ourselves in the way we have has helped to release all those emotions. And so just hearing that makes me so happy that there is something happening because of this.
Absolutely.
Right, definitely. And I think the other piece is the you know, the ability, of course, and the opportunity to provide youth a platform for creative expression, because that's definitely very important. You know, young people are interested in being creative in various forms, and as we talked previously, you know, we have a lot of arts, we have social media, we got print media. You know, we also give youth opportunity to interview. So, you know, a lot of the creative work youth is absolutely interested in. And beyond that, I think that's one of the great ways of putting us out there in a positive light, you know, of basically showcasing the positive contributions that not only Muslims but youth are making in our community, right? And again, I mean, it adds to the media representation as well. It's so important, as you mentioned from your experience. There are these stories out there. But yes, we need to add more and more stories and more positive and powerful ones. And if these stories are told from the people who are actually experiencing it, then I think the power is going to be beyond imaginary. And I think that's what's important, the youth to, you know, for them to come out in front of the media or through creative expression and tell their own stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think what the magazine does, it personalizes the issue of Islamophobia and other issues that we speak about. It puts a face to the concept. I know that when we would be distributing our magazines at events, sometimes people would come to us and we've had non-Muslims too will come up to us and say, oh yeah, I read an article, and you know, I really felt like I could connect, even though we have different faiths, even though we might be of different cultures. So it does personalize things, and I think that's what we need as people in order to care about each other. I think we need to be able to see, yes, like we need to be able to see where we're similar. Also, we need to be able to see where we're different, but be able to appreciate those differences. And I think that comes in learning about each other's stories and understanding where we come from, and that's definitely what the writing allows us to do.
Amazing. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back. Hello everyone, welcome back. You're watching the Azeeza Show, and this is Farheen Khan. We're talking about this amazing magazine, My Voice, and with me I have Aisha, Hyder, Sara, Masood, and Nargis, Naqvi. And you know, so we talked a little bit about the magazine, you know, a little bit about the impact it's had. Where can people find the magazine?
So we're actually in 65 libraries in the GTA, which is Hamilton, Mississauga libraries, and some Toronto libraries. We're trying to find more people to help us get into the other libraries as well. We are in we do distribute every quarter in different mosques and boutiques and restaurants. But the best way is to subscribe. It's a very minimal fee to support us as well, but you get it to your door. So that would be great, yeah.
Excellent. And you know, I know that I've been sort of watching as well, like you guys have been doing a number of different sort of initiatives beyond just the magazine. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I think one of the recent ones have been the art project, the Young Artists for Syria. And the project started out by actually Aisha and a team of other young people who were very interested in not only presenting the artwork, but presenting it with the meaning. And they started off by recognizing how important it was to contribute to a Syrian cause. And so they came together, you know, they basically planned it out. They created those paintings. They took it to different events to spread a message about Syria. And I know Aisha can talk a little bit more about that. And then recently they've actually started a new venture, and Aisha would probably reflect a little bit more on that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so the first project, we the proceeds from our paintings went towards a mental wellness first aid kit that was put together by Syrian Canadian Foundation and Al-Kazaz Foundation for Education and Development. And after that, you know, it was really beautiful because these artists were contributing out of their pockets. They weren't being at the time, you know, there wasn't really talk of reimbursement or anything. It was just something that they really wanted to do. And so I was so surprised when they came back to me and they were like, no, we want to do more. So let's get on to our next project. Let's discuss our next cause. And we decided that we wanted to raise awareness about the Rohingya genocide. And so we do have our auction still running. And what we did was we held a launch in downtown Toronto in February, late February, early March. And that's where we had our artwork set up, and we had a Rohingya refugee who came in to speak about his experiences. And we had a few other activists come in and share more about the genocide. And yeah, the artists were also at the event, so people who came got to speak to the artists, and they learned about the paintings, because each of the paintings do have a message, and the artists put a lot of effort, a lot of thought into what they're showing.
And these are all youth that are doing the artwork?
Yeah, high school and university, college students,
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what's the goal with that? How much do you plan to raise? What's sort of?
We normally don't set a goal of how much we specifically want to make, but we did make over 2,000 for in our first project. Yeah, and we're not. We haven't really set a goal, but we'll see where it goes. Really, our goal is to reach out to people and to have them hear our stories, the stories that our paintings tell, and then to have them, again, I guess to have them feel for these causes through the pictures that we show them, to have it resonate with them, and then to spread the message to people who maybe aren't hearing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And I think that's project like the Young Artists First Year is one of the ways of connecting with the community at large. With not just Muslims, but with also non-Muslims. That's one of the key ways of just coming together for human values, for something that means a lot to all of us, right? It's something that connects us all. So we. In fact, all of our events are actually open to non-Muslims, Muslims of all colors, all languages, all races, all ethnicities. But definitely events like those, we would like more attendance actually, and we have received a lot of people from the community in general attending our events.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's very great. Yeah.
And we did actually start open mic nights. I think Aisha, you were one of the people who initiated that, and cafes to raise awareness. So one of the topics that we did was where are we in the media, basically, and how are we represented, and how should we be represented. And it was a great discussion. We had a panel discussion there as well, and I wasn't present. I believe I was out of the country, but I heard it turned out to be really good. Were you there? Yes, I think Farheen, you were there.
Was that the one I was speaking
at?
Yes.
And I think the next one
really well.
Yes, it did.
There were like people of different faiths.
Yeah, it was a really diverse crowd, and it was really well done. Yeah.
No, alhamdulillah. So I think the next one she's planning is called Who Are We, and raise more awareness about what Muslims really are.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah, and in that event we hope to answer questions about different things like women in Islam and what does Sharia law mean, because so many people have questions about that.
Yeah, so I know when I ran for politics, somebody stood up in the audience like, if you get elected, will you impose Sharia law in Canada? Like, really, I'm running in a federal election. I don't know how to answer that.
Yes.
You know, so it's true. There's a lot of misconceptions out there. It's important to have those conversations.
No, definitely.
You know, and really talk about it.
Yeah, one of the other things that I definitely want to mention for our viewers as well is, you know, we welcome partnerships and collaborations with community organizations. So we're not just limited to Muslim organizations.
Okay, good.
You know, in the past we have collaborated with an initiative called Skills Sphere, which is just run by mainstream youth. And they're also a lot about, you know, educating and providing the skills to young people to be successful in school, in the career. We've also established a partnership last year with Heart to Heart. You know, where a lot of youth from the Israel-Palestinian sort of, you know, citizenship and people from that region of the world came here for a quick retreat and for educational activities. And My Voice ran one of the sessions where we met the youth. You know, it was kind of a meet and greet session as well. And I mean, in addition to that, there are a lot of collaborations that we do throughout the year.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Now you have your gala coming up, I hear, right?
Yes.
And so tell us about that.
Well, since the first year that we launched My Voice, we obviously knew that this was a very expensive initiative because we try to keep the quality very well, and it's a free magazine, so we needed a fundraising event. And the things that I noticed was that girls actually want to dress up, they want to take off their hijabs, they want to go on stage and perform, but there was really nothing out there that was giving them that opportunity. So we decided to turn it into a fundraising gala, but also a performance by the youth. So it's a female-only event, and it happens every year. And we get about an hour and a half or so of performances on stage, a play, fashion show, spoken word, somebody singing, dancing, whatever. And then we have a bazaar there, and this time it's going to be a pretty large bazaar. So open to the public 12 to 6 on May 4th, but 6 onwards it is for the ticketed ladies. And yeah, we have a contest this time too. It's supposed to be a masquerade ball, but it's called unmasked. So it's the opposite of a masquerade ball, but but I will have to share that message in the gala as to why we called it unmasked. It's called, the tagline is being true to yourself. I don't know if you could see that. So unmasked is right here. And the Grand Bazaar is here, which I would like everybody to attend, even if you're not coming to the gala. It's a free bazaar. And the bazaar actually has shows as well, like a live cooking show and a live makeup show and an NLP, which is, I don't know if you're aware of NLP. It's neuro-linguistic programming. So a demonstration of that, it helps you determine or help with the issues that are deep infested inside of you, subconscious issues. And there's a person here, Muhammad Sheikh, who runs those coaching classes, so he's going to do a demo there as well. So it's going to be a fun bazaar, inshallah, and a fun gala. And on Sunday, the tickets are actually going up on the 15th of April, so yeah, if people want to purchase it, they can go online.
Sounds good. And how much are the tickets?
So tickets at this moment are $45, which include the appetizers and the dinner. Everything's included. Yeah, inshallah.
To join you.
That would be great.
So tell us about this painting. I'm really curious. Who was it that donated this painting? Who made this painting?
So there's a wonderful artist, Javeria Imran in Milton, and she made this for Muslim Fest as a representation of Muslims' contributions in the 150-year contributions. And she donated it to us. And what she did is she used a collage of all the magazine pages that she could come up with around here. So you'll see different things like the Haram Police and things like that she stuck on there. And once the Muslim Fest exhibit ended, she actually just recently donated this to us. So we're hoping to get our own place where we can hang it at the reception. Inshallah, one day.
One day, for sure.
It's also going to be at the gala for everybody who's really interested to take a look at it. It's going to be there for everybody who wants to go through it, and the artist is going to be there as well at our gala.
She'll be doing a live painting demo.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
So
that's great always fabulous.
Yes, I just love to see.
Very exciting. So do you have any so let's just for those youth that are watching, that are that are looking to be more involved, that perhaps are a bit confused or are struggling, whether it be with their faith or just sort of their identity, what kind of advice can you give them?
I'd like to ask the youth to get involved in any way possible. So let's say they're in the GTA, very easy for them to go online and put in a volunteer request form, and we'll just get in touch with them every time we have a meeting. They'll be notified and they just come to it. And it's a process of getting to know everybody, right? There's a lot of youth that come. And then once they're on the team and they get our meeting alerts that this is happening, you know, contribute your time or whatever, they can do that as per need. We have a Just Ask column as well, where they can anonymously put in questions online. And we have a guidance counselor who also is a khatib, Umar Zia, who answers those questions. So they don't really need to, we don't need to know who the person is, but they'll see the answers in the magazine.
Got it, yeah.
Another way is subscribe to the magazine, start reading it, going through it. You'll start to see how you can relate to all these people writing, and maybe you'd want to pick it up again and again, and not only read, but maybe write as well. And if you're not a writer, then you can always join a YouTube channel and maybe create your own YouTube channel through My Voice and have your own show. And you know, there's so many possibilities. Everybody just is very open to everything. Another thing is distribution, because obviously we print to create awareness. And if we can get help with people saying every quarter I'll take this many magazines and I'll distribute to my local area, then that would be awesome as well. And for that they can get in touch. We do run on donations and ads. That is the only way. We're all volunteers, and so anyone who is able to support this initiative in any possible way, that would be really appreciated.
What's the website?
myvoicecanada.com.
Okay,
yeah, and we're also on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram
okay.
At My Voice Canada.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for the youth as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the key things we do at My Voice Canada is we give the youth who are interested to join us an opportunity to either join us as a team member or take on leadership positions. So we have a range of positions that are available, and of course we you know, cater to the interests of youth. As we mentioned in our interview, there's so many different ways you can get involved. So if you're not a writer person but you like to be on camera, we have that opportunity over there. So I just want to say, you know, connect with us. You know, email us at info@myvoicecanada.com. All of this information is on our website. You know, come out there, you know, be a leader yourself, but I think the first thing is just join the team, get to know us, and I think the gala would be a great time for them to come meet us in person.
That's great. We have like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Aisha.
I would just say to not be afraid, to be willing, to take the courage and take that first step. You know, a lot of times we have a bunch of limitations that are really just in our mind. You might say like, oh, I can't be a writer. Oh no, I can't do this. But no, take that first step. It's possible. Don't be afraid, and it can take you to places, and yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today and for talking about your amazing magazine. To the viewers, you know, this is to the youth out there. You know, you definitely have the chance to be involved, and you know, don't be afraid to connect and to take that first step. And you know, to all our viewers, finding your inner voice is so important. Expressing ourselves is important. Being able to make a positive contribution in the world is important, and that's what this show is all about. It's about trying to lift, you know, to look at, you know, how we overcome our obstacles and how we remain resilient. So until next week, we'll see you then. Take care.